Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from beautiful Costa Rica. Today's topic is going to be why you thought about the new supply. Think about that for a minute. If you like the content, please subscribe. And remember, if you're interested in one-on-one sessions with me, please contact me at narcdailyvideos@gmail.com. Thank you. So why you thought about the new supply? We're going to go back a little bit here. Remember, if the narcissistic relationship ended recently, there's a very good chance you are wondering, ruminating, and thinking about perhaps who the narcissist could be with. This is in a romantic relationship. It's in a romantic setting. And it doesn't have to be, but that's what it is usually. And the point is, I'm not trying to trigger you. I'm just letting you know that this will cross your mind. When the narcissistic relationship ends, remember, it ends with a crash, a thud, a bang. You're taken aback. You don't know. The mask slips, and all of a sudden this person that perhaps you fell in love with or you were in a long-term relationship with, they show you who they really are. A person who doesn't love you, didn't love you, doesn't care about you, has zero empathy, has no ownership of their actions or responsibilities, and just flat out can move on like that. This is not a healthy individual, but yet you were in a narcissistic relationship. And that is why you're here on the channel. And again, thank you very much for being here. The point is, there will be many times when the narcissistic relationship ends, when it's fresh, maybe a month out, a couple weeks, month, upwards of a couple months. It depends for each and every one of us. But you will be wondering who the new supply is. And it's just natural. Like I say, I'm not trying to trigger you. I'm just letting you know exactly what you have experienced and or are experiencing right now. So number one, I want to touch on this, is that the new supply, keep in mind, they are just that. They are supply. The narcissist does not love them. Just like they didn't love you and just like they didn't care about you, they don't care about the new supply. The new supply, and I'm not a big fan of that term, but that's the term we're using in this day and age, which is supply. Actually, I have to come up with a different idea. But the point is, that person, they do not have the education. They do not have the awareness, the recognition. They most likely don't have boundaries, and they most likely could be a people pleaser, or certainly are ensnared in the web of lies, deceit, destruction, and manipulation that the narcissist has submitted them to, submerged them in. All of these things, going back to you now, you wonder, you ruminate, you think, like, who is that person with? How could they abandon me? How could they do this? Did I do enough? Was I good enough? Did I try hard enough? All of these things, these are all for different videos, but all the questions I just mentioned right there, none of these were your fault. Absolutely nothing. Because remember, when you entered this relationship with a narcissist, you didn't know they were a narcissist. You were being manipulated. You were being tricked, and you were being duped. And that is exactly how the narcissist got the new supply. Think about it for a minute. You see, the narcissist is incapable of falling in love, not just with you, but with anybody. They're not built that way. They are the antithesis of what you are. In other words, they are a taker. They take. They destroy. They blow up families. They blow up relationships. They blow up friendships. They blow up businesses. They blow up anything they possibly can. Why? Simple. Because their whole goal in life is to accomplish, seek, divide, conquer, crush people, move on to the next person or business or opportunity, rinse, wash, repeat. That's what they do. Now, you watching the channel, you on the channel, maybe the relationship ended for you years ago, a long time ago, and you're here freshening up your skills and getting new content and becoming more awakened and understanding the current environment, and that's fantastic. Anybody watching this video, I applaud you. You're getting educated, and that in this day and age, that's what you need, especially on platforms like this where it's free and it can benefit you, not just today and tomorrow, but in the future, and it can benefit your loved ones around you, your trusted loved ones. But getting back on track, the new supply, why you think about the new supply, because you, at the time when the relationship ended, you believed that, wow, how could someone be, how could they do this to me, and what does the new supply have that I don't have? You see, you find yourself comparing yourself with a ghost, with a person that most likely you don't know who they are. And if you do know or did know who the new supply is, drop comments, let me know what you think. But most times, when the narcissistic relationship ends and the narcissist disappears onto the new supply, most times the people don't know who the new supply is. It's true, because the narcissist may move towns, cities, countries, wherever. Now, there are plenty of times when the narcissist knows. When you know who the new supply is. And that's a whole different video. That's a whole different level. The point being, is that the new supply will not be being treated any better than you are. As a matter of fact, like I've discussed on this channel frequently, they most likely are being treated worse than you were. And you may say, well, Andrew, how is that possible? Why? Why would they do this? The reason why, because the narcissist, remember, Father Time is ticking. The narcissist has fine-tuned their skills of manipulation, and they certainly use them on you. And now they've fine-tuned these, honed in, and gotten better and better at ensnaring people in their web of manipulation, lies, destruction, and deceit. And Father Time is ticking. Remember, the narcissist believes that they are an eternal 21-year-old person, when in fact they could be 60, 70, 80, who knows? They believe that they are the most attractive person in the room. They're the most intelligent. They have the coolest clothes, the best social circle. They believe that they're above everybody. Let's put it that way. And so to do this, that's how they dupe and trick and trap people into believing their false promises, their false narrative, their false identity. Remember, the narcissist is nothing but a coward, a bully. That's what they are. And when you don't have the education, which you're getting on my channel and many others, you don't know what you're up against. You actually fell in love with somebody who was nothing but a shell of themselves. They were nothing but a phantom. They were a shapeshifter, a person to take advantage of your beauty, your kindness, your love, your efforts, your empathy, all the great attributes you possessed and still do possess. My hope is right now you possess them on a much higher level if you've healed properly. But having said all these things, you will think about the new supply. It's natural. It's what happens. But once you come through the fire and you get educated and you're fully healed, meaning you are at the mountaintop of indifference, the pinnacle of indifference, which means you don't care what happens to the narcissist. As a matter of fact, you don't want to hear about them. You don't want to think about them. You don't want to know about them. You don't care flat out. They are a stranger to you. That relationship that you were in, the chapter's closed. You've moved on. You've become educated, enlightened, and empowered, and you just flat out don't care anymore. When you reach that point, you will understand exactly what I'm saying, that you will think the new supply, you'll be like, thank goodness, like I know what they're in for, and it's not going to be a fun ride for them, but they think that they're in love. And maybe they are in love, but the narcissist is not in love with them. So I'm explaining to you the inner workings of how you will think. You will get to the point where you feel sorry for the new supply, or, wow, you don't wish this experience on anybody, because I certainly don't. That's why I created the channel, because I don't want anybody on this planet to ever experience narcissistic abuse. It's some of the most insidious, toxic, destructive things you will ever go through. And I do mean that. Having said all these things, you will wonder when you're not fully healed about the new supply. You'll be like, wow, like, you'll be comparing yourself. You'll be not so nice to yourself, because you'll be thinking, like, what did I do wrong? None of this was your fault. Like I mentioned previously, you were tricked, and the narcissist wanted it that way. And once you caught on, or once you stopped giving valid sources of supply to the narcissist, that's when they most likely discarded you, or the relationship ended. Or maybe you were one of the few lucky ones who ended it before the narcissist could. And if you did, A+ for you. That's fantastic. But the new supply will not be treated any better than you. It is natural to think about them, even if there is a new supply. Remember, the narcissist, many times after the relationship ended with you, many times they will jump into another relationship quickly because they need supply. But perhaps that new supply is a narcissist. Think about that. Or perhaps that new supply doesn't offer what you offer, which I am 99% certain they can't offer what you offer. There's just no way, because you're an individual, and if you're on the channel, becoming educated, believe me, you are a special, unique, beautiful human being. So the new supply, it's not who you think or what you think or their situations. Maybe the new supply, hypothetically, maybe they have some resources, but those resources, whatever they are, I'm not going to get into it for this video, but they will be decimated and tapped just like yours were, only at a quicker rate. And while that's happening, while the narcissist is with the new supply, guess what's happening in the background? That's right. There are other new sources of supply being groomed for the new supply's backup. This is a loop that just keeps going around and around and around until you put a stop to it, which means you block, no contact, remove flying monkeys, delete people you had in common, do not go to the same places you used to frequent, and just have boundaries. Maintain, build, grow, and adhere to your boundaries, because you come first, second, and third now. You are the priority. But the new supply doesn't have any of these tools. They don't know what's going on, most likely. And the narcissist, you may think, or you may have thought for a period of time, wow, they just discarded me. That was the cruelest thing on the planet. Yes, it was. I understand completely. My heart goes out to you. But the new supply is not, the narcissist is not in a good spot. It may look on the exterior that it's all puppies and rainbows with them. Believe me, guys, it's not. Imagine every day having to wake up to put that mask on to trick and manipulate people. Imagine how cumbersome that is to actually live a false life, to have to be a different person around different people, to fool them, to trick them, to trap them. That, like, you don't know who you're talking to. If you're the narcissist, you have to be like 10 different people during one 24-hour period. You really do. You can't be the same. And that's why when you were with the narcissist, that's why you saw the mask slip so many times, but you didn't know what it was. You couldn't figure it out. Like, what was that? Like, who behaves that way? That was the narcissist mask slipping because they couldn't maintain it for that period of time. But think about this. Each and every day, that's how they go through life. They can't just wake up, sleep in a little bit late, relax, go downstairs, maybe have a cup of coffee and just enjoy the day. No, they need to be on the go looking for supply. But I want to get back on track. The new supply is not being treated any better than you. Number two, it's natural for you to think about who the new supply is if the relationship ended recently. It's just natural. It's part of the healing process. It's not until you get the education that the new supply is going to be treated worse than you, most likely, and that actually, tough love here, but you are fortunate to not be in the narcissistic relationship. Each and every day, you go no contact, block them, remove them, and you have nothing to do with them, your energy level rises. Believe me, it does. But the new supply, you see, they are now being drained of their resources. They just don't know it. And there will come a time, don't know when, but there will come a time when they too are exhausted. They can't take it any longer. They've given, their looks have disappeared or are disappearing. Maybe they have physical issues, their bank account's at zero, no cars, things like that. It's most of the same things that happen to you will happen to the new supply if they are not already happening right now. Again, on this channel, I wish ill will on nobody. I don't want anybody to go through what we went through, and I certainly don't want anyone to have a bad experience with life in general. It's not fun. But life is not linear. And let's be real. Again, if you're on this channel and if you made it this far in the video, thank you. But remember this, you had to go through your narcissistic relationship and come out through the fire on the other side to get here, to be in this exact moment with me right here, in this exact moment. There are no coincidences on this planet. There just aren't. You're meant to be here with me right now, just like you were meant to be in that narcissistic relationship. I know it's tough love, it's difficult for you to hear this, but there was no other path for you, just like there was no other path for me. But now that we have the education and we understand and we are becoming more and more galvanized and more awakened to the possibilities of this planet called Earth post-narcissistic relationship, it's amazing, it's incredible, it's beautiful. So why I'm saying this, to tie up the whole video, an example, do I think of the new supply right now? Absolutely not. Did I a year ago? Absolutely. Your head spins. Your head goes to places you don't even want to go there. You're wondering, you're thinking, oh my gosh, like what is this? What are they doing? But do you see how the progress, I'm using myself as an example, in 1 year, no longer do I care. I flat out don't care at all. And my hope is you're there or you're getting there, because that is called freedom. That is called authenticity, and that is called your path and my path. And that's where we want you. So to think about the new supply, it's natural. It's the way it goes. It's the relationship you were in is unlike anything you've ever experienced. And my hope is you'll never again experience a narcissistic relationship. They're toxic. They don't benefit you. So that's the video, guys. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from beautiful Costa Rica. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay blessed. Stay true. Be on the path. Continue to move forward each and every day, understanding that you are the priority, and that sincerely, I know it's difficult, but depending where you are on the healing path, if the relationship ended recently and fresh, I get it. It's natural to think about the new supply. Remember, they're not being treated any better. They're going to be treated worse. That's just a fact. Number two is, for those of you that the relationship ended and you're healed or healing, you're well on the path, my hope is you're putting all of your energy and effort into yourself, moving forward, maintaining your boundaries, growing, building, and creating new relationships with healthy individuals that benefit you. That's where we are. So guys, that's it. I will talk to you tomorrow. If I can, I'll shoot another video tonight, but otherwise I'll talk to you tomorrow and hopefully shoot two. Have a great afternoon. I love you more than you know. I sincerely love you. I love you. Bye.